So they're at it again. Yep. They just can't help but spurg out, I swear. It's like they just can't help themselves. And it's funny. In this case, this poor.
I am completely
Again,
unhinged. I
man,
went to the grocery
what
store.
is it with the nose ring right in the septum? Like, every time I see that, there's only one thing I think about, and that is, where's my nearest 9-volt battery? Anyway, let's get into it. Oh, where's the thing to shrink that down? There we go. Yeah, see what I mean? There's another one right there.
I am completely unhinged. I went to the grocery store, and while standing in line, I was trying to guess who voted against my rights. And I couldn't guess anymore. I was out of guesses. I was out of guesses because you're like sheep in wolf's clothing. And I just wanted to scream, who the fuck here voted against my motherfucking rights? Didn't though. Mostly because my fucking throat hurt. I
Lady, ain't nobody voting against your rights. You're fucked in the head. That's what I gotta say. But by all means, please keep spurging out. We'll enjoy watching you freak out.
Black women, I am sorry. I had no idea what Donald Trump had planned in Project 2025. I just read it. It's kind of hard for me to say this, I ain't even gonna lie. Because I know this really would damage black women across America. If you go read Project 2025, on page 900, he banning lace front wigs from China, baby. He banning lace front wigs. He got lashes too, and eyelashes.
I had a feeling. This kind of trend has been happening on Twitter quite a bit. I actually took part in it. Um, Mine was actually borderline demonic. See, I like pineapple pizza. And in page 526, somewhere around there, he said that he's going to mandate every person who orders a or any type of pizza is going to be forced to eat an extra large Hawaiian pizza with extra pineapple. Uh huh. And they'll have a minder watching you do it. And if you don't know what a minder is, go look it up. It's actually a historical thing. Something that coincidentally we all ended up with anyway, as it turns out. And you can call that a conspiracy if you want, but it's actually true. Snowden, ringing any bells? Julian Assange, they're the ones who drug it out to light. But not gonna go down that too far. I don't know, James. That seems a little bit off the point. How about Guzzle's horse chum? I fucking doubt it. Yeah, no, you know what's coming? 4 years of fucking Donald Trump. That's what's coming. Well, that woman just lost her job. That's sad. I did not get on here for that kind of sad. I came on here to watch people losing their mind.
Canada. Well, we're two Canadians, but we're living in Texas right now. And so we thought we should actually come up with a solution for that, because I would give a kidney to have a United States citizenship. Like, we're on visas right now. They expire in 5 years. But to the Democrats that actually want to move to Canada, to a slow-moving communist crap hole.
Hey, yeah, there's an idea. Why don't we swap our liberals for their conservatives, and they can, all the liberals can go freeze to death up north, and we can have a somewhat peaceful nation. How about that? That sounds like a good idea. I would be amenable to that kind of an exchange. Hell, same thing's true for Mexico as long as they're properly vetted, sure. 100%. We can send the libs in either direction and just take all the conservative members for ourselves. Do the great swap, and then they can go have their liberal paradise somewhere else. Really? Yeah, no, you're watching someone completely spurred the fuck out. 100%, just total spurg out. Fucking. This is the woman. I swear this stuff is performative, but I know this kind of person, so I know it's not. But, like, go find your happy pills, lady. And enjoy the next 4 years.
I bet you like we're not securing the border and closing loopholes.
Mr. Holman, please respect the chair and the authority of the chair. The time of the gentleman has expired.
I've asked you politely to let me go beyond my time, and you let other people go beyond their time, but not to Tom Holman. He don't get to go beyond his time.
Mr. Holman, we have approved an agreement between the Republicans and the Democrats with the ranking member. We increased the time of one member of Congress who was interrupted by a protest. That is done with the approval of the ranking member. Please respect the chair's authority.
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Holman!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
The witness will suspend.
We're not securing the border and closing loopholes.
Go, dude, go. I can't stand that stupid bitch. I hope we never have to see her ass ever again in any sort of seat of power. She needs to be forcibly retired by the Democrats. If you have any desire of being a fucking party moving forward, her and everyone like her needs to go, bye-bye. I hate this fucking guy. And yes, Amy Therese, you have it right. He is a sleazy little rat. Yeah, we all know about Kyle Kalinske, dude. Because they don't need to be more divisive, arrogant, and unhinged. They're already as far as you can go on that spectrum, as these videos are showing. It's just a generic FAFO video. Happy birthday to the Marines, which, by the way, yes, absolutely, as of yesterday, happy birthday to the Marine Corps. A little bit belated. I actually wasn't in the loop on that one. I was actually trying to take a relatively slow day yesterday. Yo, Don Lemon, get over yourself, dude. Skin color had nothing to do with it for the majority of us. I have a feeling there's probably like, 10 votes that did that? Pick a movie, keep one actor, the rest are played by Muppets. The first Alien movie and the alien is the only thing that's not a Muppet. Yeah. The same freak out. Oh no, what's this dude gonna do? Dude's got a guitar. If you think moving to Canada is going to make them change their liberal ways, you can forget about it. She don't look like a Kamala voter. She looked like the Kamala voter that ate the Kamala voter. Damn.
They just found a batch of new ballots. 40 million new ballots. Kamala Harris is president-elect.
Bullshit! She better not have. What?
She's your president.
She ain't my president.
She just won the election.
A woman can't run this country.
Oh, never mind. I thought that was a Kamala voter.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's like the worst of the worst in the Conservative Party. I will say that. That is a thing, and that is not that is not internalized misogyny. That is a woman committing misogyny externally, by the way. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, hey, Howard Stern. How does it feel to get by history? Yeah, that about sums it up. Yeah, that degree is clearly worthless. Oh, no, don't misunderstand me. I have full permissions this time. Because now I'm just laughing at you.
Man, I'm literally sitting here crying because I get it. I'm outside of the church house right now waiting on somebody, and it got me thinking, you know, they tried really hard in Pennsylvania. Kamala Harris got all these celebrities to come to Pennsylvania, and they went and held these rallies in Pennsylvania, and you heard Trump said, if we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing. And the Democratic Party was targeting voting blocks, the gays, the blacks, the Latinos, the white men, the women, all the voting blocks they were attacking. They had Obama come out, and they were going into Pittsburgh, and they were going into Philadelphia, and they were pounding, Pennsylvania, we need Pennsylvania. But then God showed up. See,
No, he's right on that.
They were looking at, counting, they forgot. They thought that they had, you know, all the American people sewed up.
They're right. He's right on that. And also, they mocked God. He will not be mocked. They laughed at Christians, told us we were at the wrong rally. They said all this horrific stuff, and then they came out against their own. Obama shaming black men for not voting for Kamala Dingbat. I'm sorry, Mr. Droning Kids Overseas Obama. We don't want your ilk anymore. Your loaf of bread has expired on the shelf and is being thrown the F away. Get over it. No one bought it. We thought we would like it when we, put it in the store, but as it turned out, no one wants it. Okay? And yes, I had to think about how I was wording that. We don't want your brand of filth in this country anymore. So take it somewhere else. And this is not based on your skin color. This is based on your actions and your lack of moral integrity. Your lack of spine. What kind of a spineless jerk would go around droning kids? So, you come out and you go right on ahead and you accuse those who share the same pigmentation of skin that you do. Call them racist all that you want. Tell them that they're just signing up for 4 years of hell under Trump, all that you want. But just know that every time you do that, every time someone in the media or your party does that, your social credibility just keeps dipping and dipping and dipping and dipping. And it's going to keep going down. So, oh wow, really? Of course she is. Senator Collins, you just lost your job. And to the Republican Party of Maine, I move that we call for a recall election against Senator Collins. And if no one else will take the job, frig it, I'll nut up and I'll do it. I've had enough of this crap. Vote with the right part of the party or get the fuck out. Man, I thought Holly was pretty... Never mind Collins for a minute. I still have quite a few bitchings about her, but Marsha Blackburn? Who the hell else isn't voting for fucking Scott? Well, of course, Thune is voting for Cornyn. What? What? Okay, now you know something fishy the fuck's going on. Okay, let's take it from the top then. Paul and Vance are voting for Scott. That's your big indicator that Scott's the guy that you should go for. Rick Scott's, of course, voting for himself. Makes sense. So is Ron Johnson and Marco Rubio. Holly and John Kennedy are voting for Cornyn? I don't know, man. That sounds a little fishy to me. Chuck Grassley? Jesus, is Grassley even still in politics? Lindsey Graham doesn't surprise me. I mean, yeah, it's South Carolina. Dan Sullivan. Can say I don't know enough about him. McConnell would surprise me in the least. I know that's exactly what he's up to. Ted Cruz, really? Tom Cotton, Marsha Blackburn, really? Is this real? Because I have my suspicions about this list now. I take back what I said about Susan Collins. I don't think necessarily that this is accurate information. There's a lot of names in here that are in places that just don't make sense. Like, number one, John Kennedy and Josh Hawley, can't stand Cornyn. Alright? Like, they have no issue with Scott. It makes no sense to have them on this list. Ted Cruz, the guy watched Cornyn try to sell us up the effing river on gun control. Really? You're going to say that Ted Cruz is not going to support Scott? He's going to go support Thune. Alright. Well, I mean, I guess that's your choice to believe that. McConnell's probably about the only one that makes sense. And Chuck Grassley, also, why is Thune voting for Cornyn and not himself? Like, that's like a big red flag about this. I don't know, man. I think this is just more Twitter garbage. Is this what football has become? Because that's not the football I remember. Yeah, what is that? October, November? A month and 5 days later, you have to issue this because that happened. Yeah, no, she is a racist, you know what, and she can fry for all I care. Oh, man, it is the thing. Yeah, alright. So to the left, let's get this straight. Nick Fuentes is a snake. Okay? We thought at first he'd be okay. But then he supported your guys' side. And then when Trump won, he decided to say, hey boys, we did it. And then he's going to turn around and say the whole your body, my choice bullshit. And then once he gets you riled up, he's going to content collect on you spurging out, right? And then he's going to try to inflict a civil war between the left and the right. This man is unhinged and needs to be fucking rejected roundly. 100% rejected roundly. He is trying to incite something that he does not understand and should have no part in. Oh, hell the fuck yeah, I do. It's what we have a military for. And I'm not talking about the unarmed illegal immigrants. I'm talking about the damn cartel members that have been shooting at our fucking border security for fucking months. Hell with that, years. I didn't want, I was thinking something like food safety or some shit. Please tell me that's not a thing. Please, for the love of God, tell me that's not a thing. You think they smell? Give me 24 hours. I'm sorry. I had to really look at this for a minute. Racism and body odor. Alright. So I can confirm, as someone who's been with 2 or 3 black ladies, and they were very nice and kind, that they do smell different. You know what? I smell different every time I eat something. You should smell what I smell like when I eat strawberries and garlic. Or better yet, whenever I eat eggs and white sauce that's been over garlic on toast. By the way, good breakfast. I might actually have that today. I have enough eggs. It'll have to be biscuits instead of toast, because we've been removing bread from the diet, like normal bread, and we've been shifting off to just eating the wraps. And trying to buy the vegetable-based wraps, like the keto-friendly stuff. Or, you know what I mean. Not the regular flour-based ones. Ever since then, I don't feel as tired anymore. But every so often, yes, I go either make homemade biscuits, or I get in the mood for some processed biscuits that have the flaky layers, and I'll just go grab one of the pop-open canisters, and I'll throw them in there and make some sausage gravy with it, or some eggs and white sauce. Today, eggs and white sauce sounds pretty good. Although I do slightly wonder what would happen if I mixed the sausage with the eggs and white sauce. Yeah, someone's a little tender after losing her woman, her person. I know what you were trying to go for, but you should have reversed the phrasing on the top two, or the bottom two. Unfortunately, I can't believe I have to say this. Actually, and RFK Jr. has this one right too. Unfortunately, at this point in time, with all the crap that they put in all the pre-made pizzas, they're basically one and the same at this point. All the poisons that they put in them, you might as well just go out and do drugs. Like, yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you don't vote for Rick Scott, we're going to be primarying the shit out of you any way we can. Yeah, no shit. Stop calling Trump the fascist, and then turn around and start acting like a fucking fascist your damn self. Fuck you. Please, just fuck off. You're like a mosquito at this point. Ain't walking away with a single one. Love that show. Okay, well, I will be checking in on my dad today. Thank you for letting me know. In Willow, at 2.5. Okay. Hey, another follower. Is it just another bot? I gotta wonder that. It was small but shallow. Okay, that's good to know. I just really worry about my old man, that's all. And yes, every senator needs to be in on that. Oh yeah, that's right. He did, didn't he? I forgot about that. So the three of them are basically swamp creatures. Uh-huh. This wasn't on Wikipedia yesterday. And if it was, I didn't see it. I got kind of an unplausible, like, not impossible, but not very plausible conspiracy theory for you. What if Mitch the Bitch McConnell has just been playing the long con this whole time, looking for the right group of kids to take over his fucking mission, and now that the majority of the country has come out in support of Trump, what if he's been putting pressure on people to just outright, like, BTFO the libs? But he was pretending to be their friend this whole time. I doubt it. I highly fucking doubt it. But, like, there's just an inkling in the back of my head that's like, he's trying to play the clever man. I don't know, maybe I'm trying to give him too much credit. But this is kind of dragged on and kind of sputtered out and after a half an hour, and I don't really intend to... Wait, what? Hang on.
There was tons of volunteers, men and women, from all over North Carolina and Georgia and New Hampshire and Connecticut and different places that had come down to work. But the evidence that I found as I was in...
Quicker for me to read it. Fucking excuse me?
Here today, before I left, what really is going on. So it's not just those areas where they have completely collapsed those communities in order for the government to come in and then put their lithium mine and then do their quartz mine as well. For those who don't know, North Carolina houses the largest amount of lithium, which is what is used to do the battery-operated cars. And because electric cars are going to be the wave of the future, they know this, and it's not just that, it's all batteries, and they use lithium for other things. But there's quartz up here. It's the largest amount of quartz mineral rights up here in all the world. The entire world. It's shocking that we would house that much of that mineral there. But they use the quartz for the little computer chips which are used all over the globe. So we're wanting to bolster our chip production here. That's been a big thing in government talking about that because our deals across the sea is not working out. So we are wanting to do the manufacturing of chips here in America, and what they need for that is quartz, and North Carolina houses the largest amount of quartz. So you can kind of see why the government is interested in places like Chimney Rock, Spruce Pine, Black Mountain, Lake Lure, all those areas, because that's where the mine is.
Did he say Black Mountain? He doesn't mean that Black Mountain, does he?
Who don't know, that's what it is. There was a $90 billion plan put into place by Albemarle. Their corporation office, the main corporate office, is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, Albemarle is an energy company. That's what they do. They dig, they drill mines, and everything surrounds their company, and their mission is energy, okay, energy production. So they did a $90 billion deal with the government. Douglas Emhoff, the husband of Kamala Harris, is in fact one of the top investors. They are run by BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Okay, those are asset managers.
Yeah, no, if they offer you the fucking money, tell them to pound sand. You keep that land in your fucking name. Especially not for $2,500. Maybe per foot. No. Lady, you look like you used Q-tip. Just saying. Right. Yeah, why is FEMA in Michigan?
Here, Ann Vandersteel, Steel News. We are live in Candler, North Carolina. And we are back to go into the FEMA camp that I was here a month ago, if you remember. We were looking into exactly what they are doing in this FEMA camp. And if you look behind me, there's a truck pulling in right now. And this time we're a little bit more serious, because if you look behind me here, we're doing a documentary on everything we see happening in North Carolina. It's quite serious at the moment. Because so we're going back in. Do you remember that? You weren't here, okay. They're also an intelligence service company, and you can look all this up if you go to their website. It's very obvious who they are and what they do. But what I find interesting is when you go to other FEMA locations that are set up like this, you have a much more lackadaisical security infrastructure. Same people, same contractors, but they're nowhere near as tight and as private contract workers seen. So, and he was very forthcoming with some awesome information about the number of people that were supposed to be here, that are, you know, contractors you're expecting to come in and facilitate help to the city of state of North Carolina and so forth, provide resources. Can we just get an update on what's happening and what sort of resources? Because the coverage I've been doing, I haven't seen a lot of resources in the field helping some of the people who've literally lost not only their house but their land, etc. So we're just trying to get an update for the people.
Sure. And any media inquiries that come my way, I'm supposed to direct you guys to this, and they're going to answer all your questions.
Okay, what do you got for us?
So the news desk phone number is right there.
News desk phone number is 855-576-9990.
Yes.
Email is FEMA-DR-4, different than the...
Oh, sure. FEMA's got everybody activated. So, what's your name again?
Ann Vandersteel. Yeah, if you go on my X profile right now, this is all live.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, well, Chris, now you're joining the X profile too. This is my good friend Chris. He is helping facilitate the documentary that we're doing today. I'm gonna flip this around a little, put me back on. So, very simply, you just now have heard from the folks at FEMA that they don't want to answer any more questions. They're gonna redirect you to the public information officer at FEMA. And frankly, that is a deflection. That is trying to obfuscate information. And if this is truly a facility to help the people, they should be more forthcoming to the people that are here to provide the direct information. And so to that, I say boo on them, but we're not gonna quit. We're here, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. And we've got a great documentary that's gonna come out on this in a couple of weeks.
I'd fly a drone over it and take some pictures. Might be illegal, but I'd still freaking do it. I don't recommend that you do that, though, because, again, it is illegal. But, like, yeah, no. We have drones. Just record what the drone can see from the sky. Take a look at what they got in there. If you see private citizens actually being helped, then drop the matter. If you don't, and you start seeing mining equipment, nail them. Dude, don't poke the bear. Michael, knock your block off. Of course he's an election denier. He's mad because he got, BTFO'd. Yo. Aren't they supposed to not be able to do that? And isn't this stuff supposed to be secured in the event that they do? 45-degree tilt. That kind of indicates some sort of mechanical malfunction to me. But, alright, yeah, we're just, again with the nose ring. 9 volt. Yeah, this is another thing that's happening, that YouTube would probably ban me if I said it out loud, of course. Yeah, right. Anyway, I'm not gonna let this stream drag on. We kind of dead ended in a Twitter spiral, so I might end up actually deleting this one. I was actually kind of hoping to get more Spurgouts because we've had a lot of them on here over the last couple of days, but it looks like they seem to be dying down. So I guess that content farm is kind of dead. I mean, really, it is. It's just guys talking about more stuff. Oh, yeah, this is an oldie but a goodie, but yeah. You just totally... Yeah, no, that's an ATF agent trying to subvert the process for getting that information. 100%, Mike. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get as many Spurgouts today. That's a shame. And I really don't want to watch this nutbag lose her crap again because she's just gonna keep doing it. Oh, oh, oh.
Hi, white woman from
Do we have one?
Wisconsin here. Sorry to scare you. I just want to share something. I can't believe how strange I feel in my community because I thought I knew or could assume where we stood. I had no idea 70% of y'all were feeling that way. So I was on TikTok all day and saw that we're making bracelets. And I thought, okay, I've got beads. I can make some. My daughter's like, I want one. So I was making bracelets last night. And I ran out of string. And I don't even want to be in a store right now. Because people are walking around like everything's normal. And I'm like, are we in the same universe? And I'm really uncomfortable.
Okay. No, number one, we're not. You're living off in your own little deluded reality where you think that the whole world is turned on you, but the reality is that we just wanted better lives for ourselves. See, here's the thing that people don't realize, and this is going to be a hot take, right? But here's the reality of the world. Google Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay? The reason that they start at the bottom and work your way up to the top is because the stuff at the bottom is the basis, fundamental foundation of what's at the top. Okay? So when you have people who are paying $5 to $7 for butter, when eggs climbed to $4 a dozen in states where it was previously like $1.50, when milk is vastly more expensive than your gas, okay? All this other gender ideology, and as much as I hate to say it, even women's rights kind of get put on the back burner compared to those issues, because you can't have women's rights if the women are starving to death because they can't afford to feed themselves and their families, all right? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for women having their rights, but there are more important things in the universe than people's rights, and those are your survival needs. That's food, water, shelter, and thermoregulation, which is like keeping warm in the winter and keeping cool in the summer, right? So you don't either get hypothermia or hyperthermia when on the other end where you end up with like heat stroke and stuff. All right. The problem is that those needs are not being met for a lot of people right now. Once you get those needs met, Okay? Then we can go up and start talking about, safety and security next. And then the other stuff, right? And that's where you people are getting it wrong. You're getting it twisted. We're not going after your rights. Nowhere did Donald Trump say he was going to go after abortion or any other female right. There may have been some trolls on Twitter saying that, but they're literally doing that to get this exact reaction out of you. Like that's what this is. They're getting what they wanted because it allows them to make content. And I'm starting to think that a lot of these women that are posting these videos are kind of farming content too. And coincidentally, while I didn't encourage this behavior, I'm just kind of farming the content myself, unsuccessfully because it's been 50 minutes and I've maybe found 2 or 3 Spurg out videos. But no, the problem is that you see things a certain way and you're screaming up and down that this isn't the America I live in, blah, blah, blah. Lady, the fact that I have to pay like $10 for chicken isn't the America I live in either. Which one do you think I care about more? My $10 chicken or your abortions that literally got nailed down by the fucking Supreme Court as saying, well, it's a state's issue. And I hate to bring this subject up because I have a whole thread dedicated to it, but stop lying about miscarriages. Any doctor, and this has been quoted by the Supreme Court and every medical journal and association in the United States, any doctor who neglects miscarriage care out of claiming, they're afraid of going to jail for abortions, and I quote, should be nailed for medical malpractice, and if someone dies, should go to jail for murder. Just remember that before you start lying about miscarriage care, please. As someone who was negatively affected by a miscarriage, my son's not in this world. My first son. Remember that before you decide to lie about this subject, who you're actually hurting, okay? And the fact that your so-called high political ideology, yeah, you're driving people away from it in droves by saying that crap. Keep lying about it. Keep on. Come on. Go right on ahead. You're giving me more content. And the more of you come out and say this bullshit, oh, but there were news stories. Yeah, she died from septic shock because of her doctor's medical malpractice and failure to give her antibiotics. So, just remember that. That's it. That was her doctor's failing. That had nothing to do with the law. That, or he was an activist, or she was an activist doctor who decided to take it upon themselves to try to push an agenda at the cost of their patient's life, in which case they do not deserve to have a medical degree, period. And before you say anything, there is a subset of my family that is not police or military that ended up being doctors and nurses. And they'll tell you the same thing. It's called medical malpractice. And the families of these individuals, by the way, instead of barking up and down at the state, they need to turn right around and go after the hospital and the doctor and sue them for every last penny they have. So much so that their daughter's name should be the name of the friggin' hospital at this point. And that's what I have to say to that. But we're going to listen to this woman Spurg out for 2 more minutes. And then I'm going to get off and try to experiment with that sausage, eggs and white sauce with sausage on.
So anyways, I went to the craft store and I go to the bead section to buy some string and maybe a few more blue beads. And I see another young woman there buying blue beads. And I just looked at her and I said, are you making bracelets? She said, yeah. And I said, me too. And she started crying, and so did I. And she's like, I just came from therapy, I'm not okay. And I was like, I just got in a fight with my best friend over Project 2025, I'm also not okay. And
you're fighting with your friends over a media conspiracy that existed to demonize a political enemy of theirs. Because you personalized it because they made you personalize it by saying that you'd lose stuff that was never on the table to begin with. Look, a little secret about Donald Trump. He was given an award right alongside Mike Tyson and Rosa Parks. Another fun fact about Donald Trump. He's from the era and lived through the era and got to see all the turmoil that was caused during the civil rights movement. You can accuse him of whatever you want, but there's a certain reality that you have to admit. He is not a far-right Looney Tune. He's very center of the road. The far-right Looney Tunes are the guys on Twitter and Reddit and TikTok who are sitting there saying, your body, my choice. And they're saying that to get a reaction out of you. It's not because they mean anything. It's because they're trying to get content. They're trying to make you freak out so they can farm you for content moving forward. That's all that they're doing. And congratulations, you're falling for it. Just like you fell for the media thing. It's like you fell for the Project 2025 thing. I probably could have told you that Project 2025, again, was going to make it so whenever you ordered a pizza, you are mandated to eat a large pineapple and ham pizza with extra pineapple. And this extra pizza will be free of charge. And you'd probably believe that it was true. And here's why. There's 900 pages in Project 2025. 900 pages. Not just the 20-page summary that Mark Elias lied about throughout the whole damn thing. Of which the only thing that he wrote in there that is not consistent with Project 2025 either, by the way, that I actually agree with what he said more than Project 2025, is removing the Department of Education and returning the educational responsibility to the states and funneling the funding from the department that would normally go to the Department of Education into the individual states. I have cultural reasons for that. It means that Native Alaskan culture out in Bush, Alaska can thrive again. People can learn how to make Native Alaskan yo-yos, which are not the yo-yo that you're thinking. You know, their kids can learn how to make a guduk and all this good stuff. Just keep your fish heads, please. As a white man, I'm sorry. That was just a little bit of a bridge too far for me. But, you know, what were they called? They looked like pine needles, but they were shorter and fatter, and you brewed them into a tea that was really good. You know? These things are a part of Native Alaskan culture that I learned from being in Bush, Alaska, but ever since we rolled out this standardized BS, it's all been thrown to the back burner, you know? No one cares anymore. You want to know what's worse than colonizing an area? Colonizing and then not only trying to integrate the culture, but then just outright deleting the culture. I miss the scary stories. Baby with a big mouth, the baby that ate the mother and proceeded to try to eat the village kind of thing. Or I forgot how the story went, but you get my meaning, right? Instead of burying the culture in standardized BS, give the money to the states and let them regionally select their own standard. Sure, obviously, everyone needs to know math and a certain amount of U.S. history. That's fine. And English, too, obviously. But, let the schools have their own cultural thing. That's how we make America great, because I miss being able to go from Maine to Minnesota to go get, to go get my beer and cheese and then go down to Arkansas to go get some moonshine. Whatever happened to that? Like, y'all just don't care. It's not important. That's part of what made America amazing. If you wanted to go have a debaucherous night in, give me a second, during Mardi Gras, you could. Within legal boundaries, obviously. Like, they don't want you committing crime. But, like, then you could go home, act like nothing happened, assuming you didn't catch nothing. You know, and then it's just like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Like, people want to sit there and say, oh, that's just stereotyping. That's terrible. Since when is a local state having its own culture stereotyping? What the fuck is wrong with you? What's wrong with Maine having our lobster and fried clams? Our lobster roll? Or better yet, our ground up moose burger or moose steak? What is wrong with that? I mean, unless you're a vegetarian or a vegan, and then, you know, whatever. But, like, we'll turn California into your own little vegan paradise. How about that? And that's another thing, like, why is it so hard? You know what? Let's not ask that question like that. Let's just phrase it the way that it is. We've become a nation so divided that I can't go to Arkansas, grab a jug of moonshine, and go to Napa Valley and go get some wine and grapes, and go up to Wisconsin and Minnesota and go get some amazing cheese products and some good old-fashioned beer, and then go over to get some Amish woodworking or something, you know, from Pennsylvania, because it's so divided, it's just stupid. And then I can come home and have my lobster. And then I get to have, like, all of America in one big buffet, basically. Oh, and a steak from Texas. You gotta get a steak from Texas to make this work. Right? Like, why can't I do that? Because of political BS. Why is that such the big thing for everyone? I can't go to New York and get a slice of pizza with my gun in the small of my back because you want to take away my Second Amendment right that is guaranteed under the United States Constitution to carry my firearm as I see fit? Fucking excuse me? And then you want to sit there and say, oh, you voted for Trump, you're not welcome here. Fucking excuse me? And that goes the other way around too. You know what? If there are any conservative that's sitting there saying, you voted for Kamala, you're not welcome here, fuck off. Both of you fuck off. Why can't we just have American cultures the way that we used to? What the fuck is wrong with you people? I know what it is, and I've contributed to it a little bit, but, like, it was just so we could get lower grocery prices. But why should we have to choose between having the multicultural aspects of the United States, that the good stuff, right? Why should we have to sacrifice that to be able to have food that we can afford? And this woman exemplifies this. The media has turned into a weapon against these people by trying to weaponize their own minds against them so they'll vote against their own self-interest. And it's sad. It is sad because they've lied to them about what is at stake. Telling them that the threat is Donald Trump because he's going to take away your abortion care or your miscarriage care is a lie. This is such a lie. And even Project 2025 exempts miscarriage care as well. The real 900-page document, again, not the lie created by Mark Elias. Read the actual document. Go through the whole 900-page document sometime. Don't just believe what one man put together on a page and manipulated to try to rile you people up. That's all that it was. It was an election lie. And you know what? Look into this person's history. It's not the first time he's politically lied for the Democrat Party or the media either. He did it with the Steele dossier. He did it with the Russia hoax. This man is a pathological liar who is dead set against Donald Trump and making his own self look good at the cost of the truth. This man should never be allowed to publish another document, and if he does, it should never be taken seriously again. Period. This is like the 5th time he's cried wolf.
And she's like, "Can I hug you?" And I said, "Yeah." So I'm just hugging this stranger in Joanne Fabrics because we're just two white women who just wanted people to know. Not me. It wasn't fucking me. And like, I truly pray to God I am being dramatic.
You are.
And this is overkill.
It is.
This is so fucked.
It is.
I'm also not one of those white women who you had to wonder.
Like, I hope you know you've been lied to, right? I really hope you know you've been lied to.
Anymore. Made it clear last time and even more clear this time. And I do not mince words. So maybe it's overkill, but there are people in my community who are like a target and probably don't feel safe.
Well, they have no reason to. It's literally based on a lie.
To maybe soften that a little bit, I'm going to do it. So anyways, if you're in Wisconsin near Milwaukee, let me know if you want a bracelet. I'll send you one. And just to kind of get out ahead of this, before the pick-me Trump supporter girls are in the comments, happy that we're sad and overwhelmed and crying, and they have so much satisfaction in that. And you're so scared. Hate to break it to you, honey. You fucked yourself big time. So we voted for you.
Except you didn't. You voted against your most basic self-interests in the name of something that wasn't going to happen in the first place.
But good luck.
In fact, actually, I'm going to scroll through. I'm going to scroll through the comments and see if there's something. Yeah, that's part of this lady's problem, right? All day. Okay, so I don't see his video here. So I'm going to go to my... I'm going to open this and... Oh, no. Okay, I'm just going to open this here and I'll open my home. Actually, just go through the notifications. Where's my comment where I said this needs to go wide? Here it is. Here we go.
And Democracy Forward was perhaps the most damaging piece of propaganda to be deployed throughout this presidential cycle. This organization and their version of Project 2025, what they call the People's Guide to Project 2025, is the reason why so many women and so many people on the left are terrified of Donald Trump. The problem is they lied to you. They lied about almost all of it. And it's time to show you exactly how they did it. So the problem that we have is the Project 2025 document was over 900 pages long, and they knew that most Americans weren't going to read it. So they put together what's called the People's Guide to Project 2025. And you'll notice right down here, it says, we read Project 2025's entire 900-plus page mandate for leadership so that you don't have to. And because this guy, Mark Elias, is well known for doing this kind of stuff, they decided to take the mandate for leadership document and twist it. And in fact, attribute things to their version that aren't in Project 2025. Let me show you. They developed a glossary, if you will. And then they had content creators like this guy and many others go out and run with this. And you're going to notice that they put page numbers next to each of these bullet points. Like the second one on here says a complete ban on abortion without exceptions, and then banning contraceptions. And then they put page numbers next to it, as though it's supposed to give it some authority, because they know you're not actually going to go read those pages. Like, for example, that list that I just showed you, the topic of banning contraceptions, it says that on page 449, it specifically talks about banning contraceptions. Well, here's page 449 in its entirety. Contraception is not even mentioned, even once. Not even a reference to it. There's no mention.
No, it's just shit about COVID.
On page 449. And yet, in the list that was created and is being promoted, the third one down, it says ban contraceptions, page 449. Well, there's page 449. Pause it. Go read it. Not even a reference to it. And did you know that you can actually go read pages 449 through 503 where it talks about a complete ban on abortion without exception? Well, what's really weird is that when you go to those pages, it doesn't talk about a complete ban on abortion at all. As a matter of fact, it lays out multiple goals where we talk about protecting life and where they talk about empowering patient choices and provider autonomy. And if you go further down, it starts to talk more and more about chemically induced abortions and how to protect women because of the severe risk associated with it. Nowhere in pages 449 through page 503 does it talk about a complete ban on abortion without exception. And further, did you know that the Supreme Court ruled back in June of 2024, before they started the Project 2025 propaganda campaign, that unanimously that they could not restrict or ban chemical abortion? Did you know that? I guarantee you they knew it. Problem is they just didn't care. You see, the reason why so many people are terrified of Donald Trump and the Republican Party is specifically because of that guy right there. If you don't know who he is, you need to go do some research on him. His role in Perkins Coie and the Steele dossier and the Russian collusion hoax and all the propaganda campaigns that have been running because of him. So folks, I hope you help me get this video over to the other side of this platform, to those people who are terrified, so they understand that the vast majority of what they came to believe throughout this election cycle was not true. It was a lie. And it's not their fault, because they did it on purpose. Democracy Forward is responsible for what they came to believe to be true about Project 2025, because none of them ever read it. And Democracy Forward knew they weren't going to read it. That's why they lied to them.
And I should point out that Mark Elias is the biggest scumbag on the planet because he tried to say that miscarriage care was included in that ban. You wanted to know where all your fucking problems are coming from? It has a name. He has a name, Mark Elias. He's the biggest liar in politics. You want propaganda made? He'll make it and won't care whether it's true or not. And oh, by the way, I hope to God you come at me with a lawsuit, because I will publicly drag your ass. I will drag your document and your fucking propagandist buddies and the real Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation into a courtroom, and I will fucking bury you. On principle. You won't have an ounce of credibility left by the time I'm done, because I'll make sure the public sees it. The whole world's gonna see it. So go right on ahead. You do that. You do that. I'll have so many lawyers up your butt over this subject. I'll go into debt for the rest of my natural life and then some. Just to bury you. Remember that. Next time you decide to open your fucking flap and say something so obscenely absurd that it makes no sense. At all. Without any proof, and then claim that you have proof, only to lie about your proof. And another thing, I'm not laughing at these women. I feel sorry for these women. They believed the lie. They ate it hook, line, and sinker. So I think this is going to conclude the Spurg Out videos now that that's come to light. I think instead of Spurg Out videos, I think we need to make it our personal fucking vendetta to expose Mark Elias for the fraud that he is. Congratulations. You just became the face of a vendetta.